Welcome back. In this particular segment, what we're going to do is endeavor to understand the reason why individuals make certain choices and the reason why a lot of the times the choices that we see individuals make exist in the extreme. And this video is really no exception. Uh, this particular lady is speaking in extremes. I don't know what the reason for her decision that she's pondering over is. I don't understand where she's coming from, but we're going to try to pick it apart to see exactly what's going on. So let's get into the video and see what we can find out.
I have a question that's going to flood my inbox, and I'm kind of going to regret it, but it's a conversation that needs to be started. My son is 11 years old, and when he turns 14, I'm thinking about getting him a vasectomy. Now, to other boy moms, is this something that you guys are thinking about? If not, why?
A 14-year-old boy, a child, and your consideration is whether or not you should get a vasectomy for your child. And for those of you that are watching that are not familiar with the term vasectomy, this is the procedure that prevents a man from procreating. He is no longer able to have children after this procedure. Now, if you are wanting a little bit more information on it, well, I encourage you to look it up because I don't want to be too graphic in my description. But what it does is it renders a man unable to have children in the future. And so she's saying that she would want to render her 14-year-old son unable to produce children in the future. And she's asking what is the opinion of other moms who have sons. And I'll hold my thoughts until the end because this is getting to be a little bit absurd. But let's keep going.
Any pointers, questions, concerns that y'all may have that maybe I might not have thought about? Let me know. Oh, I'm going to regret that.
Okay, so let's recap a couple of things. Not necessarily knowing who this lady is on a personal level, I have to question her parenting skills right off the bat. I have to question that because in this particular instance, can you feel the undercurrent of trauma that's involved here? Can you feel the difficulties that this lady is having? Though those difficulties are not related to her child, she's about to take an extreme and a desperate measure. Uh, but what's noteworthy is what's not said in the video. The question that was posed was whether or not it would be okay for her to get a vasectomy for her son who is 14 years old. Now, I will say this, and I'll say it proudly. I think this is an open show of misandry. The young man has not developed into who he is going to be. He could be an individual who is a phenomenal father, a phenomenal leader, a protector, a provider, a traditional man in the fullest sense. And it may be one of the things that he is uniquely geared toward becoming a parent, becoming a father. It may be one of those things in life that fits him in a way that nothing else in life could. It may be a situation where being a father is one of the things that adds to this particular young man's purpose. But now he won't be able to do that if he decides to get a vasectomy. So my question is, as parents, um, are we thinking intentionally? Are we looking at the future and thinking that things are going to be well, or are we looking at the future in an antagonistic and a negative way? Because now here's this young man. He hasn't done anything to antagonize any women that we know. And who says that he's going to grow up to be that kind of man? We don't know. So why would you prevent your son from having children? Why would you take steps to prevent him from having children and he's not an age where he can comprehend exactly the decision that you're making? If you ask me, this is absolutely ridiculous. why are we even discussing this? But it's just a show of how the perception of men in our community, as a matter of fact, all around the world, is one where the things that we do are not valued. And you can tell it because if it was a valuable notion for this woman to have grandchildren, if it was a valuable notion for her to see her son grow up to be a man in the fullest extent, practicing positive masculinity, benefiting everyone around him, if that was something that was important for her to see, then this would not even be in conversation. She would never have brought this question up because her thoughts would have been that the ability for her son to have children in the future, to produce a family, to break generational curses is something that's important. We wouldn't have this conversation. That's why I said I think this is absolutely ridiculous. At the beginning of the video, she said that she thinks this conversation needs to be started. I don't think it should. I think we should cut it off right now. I think we should nip this in the bud because what happens is this rolls into other things. You're making a decision for this particular child before he's able to comprehend what that decision will result in. So we can't allow things like this to go on. We just can't. And anyone who is in support of this, I need you to think clearly about what you're doing. I need you to think clearly. Are you allowing the experiences that you've had in life to color the way that you look at maybe what your son would be in the future? Are you allowing situations that you had with men to give you a bias against your own son who's coming up, who has yet to prove himself in regards to what he will be as a man? Why are we discussing this? Now, I find it ironic also that in amongst the culture where there is such a push for equality and rights for everyone, you'll hear mentioned so many times that many of the ladies that are involved in these particular movements say that it's their body, it's their choice. So why not extend that same courtesy to this young man? 14 years old. 14 years old. The only decision that should be made in regards to this young man is where he's going to college, how he's going to finish strong in high school, and really what things he needs to do right now to prepare himself for those goals. We don't need to be talking about whether or not he needs to get a vasectomy or not. If that is the foremost issue, then we have a problem. We have a problem, you all. Those are my thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be easy.